If I only had 30 days to make you a professional level winger, then this is the exact system I would use. Today I'm going to cover the 3 main pillars you need to have to be a really good winger, and it's your physical, technical and tactical side of the game. And these can be done by beginners to professional level players, but are carefully designed to make you target the things that 99% of players never do, so you can genuinely develop to a professional standard. You see, because I've helped over 60 players get to the next level in football. I've played for my national team at youth levels, and I've also signed my first pro contract by the age of 19, all by following the exact system that I'm going to show you today. So make sure you watch this video till the end, because this is going to transform your game. So firstly, let's start with the physical side of the game. As a winger, when you're training your physicality, you want to focus on a couple things as a priority, and that's your change of direction, your speed, and your explosivity on the pitch. So all the drills that I'm going to show you today are specifically designed so you can genuinely develop into a really athletic and explosive winger. So firstly, one of the most important types of exercises you need to do for your explosivity is going to be plyometrics with minimal ground contact time. And this is going to include exercises like pogo jumps, just like this. When performing drills like pogo jumps, you want to make sure that as soon as you reach the ground, you push up again with maximum force production. You're not going to do it at 50%, you're not going to do it at 30%, because whenever you go at 30%, you're not actually activating that brain to muscle connection and your fast twitch muscles to optimize for explosivity. You're just working on your stamina. So whenever you train explosivity, you want to give 100% of what you can actually do on the pitch, right? So when I do drills like the pogo jumps, just like this, I'm going to focus on minimal ground contact time and maximum force production. But then I'm going to progress to a different one, just as important for wingers, which is single leg pogo jumps, just like this. But here's one important thing you need to consider when doing pogo jumps. You need to keep your legs as straight as possible, because this is how you train that ankle stiffness, which will allow you to change directions really quickly in a game. But other exercises that work extremely well for wingers are explosive lunges, just like this, where you're gonna sit in a lunge position and you're gonna explode and bring your other leg up as much as possible. This is simulating that sprinting mechanics that you would actually do in a game, just like this. But on every single jump, you have to produce a lot of force, hence why this exercise is so good for your explosivity. But also exercises like single leg jumps, just like this, where I'm gonna try to bring my knee up as much as possible. So, as you can see, I'm driving my knee up as much as possible for that mechanic when I'm running in the game, and I'm moving my knees up so I can then push it into the ground and go for the next stride, which is an extremely underrated ability as a winger, because when you dribble your players one-on-one, you then want to run after the ball and you want to be fast every time you do a sprint. But then you can also do variation of jumps where you're gonna stay on one leg and then you're gonna jump forward as much as possible and then take another small jump. So just like this. This is gonna work on your deceleration, which is just as important as a football player, right? Because every time you do a sprint, you need to decelerate from that sprint if you want to be able to get past your defenders. Because if you really think about it, every time you dribble, you sprint, you stop with the ball, the defender now has to stop as well. So you stop his momentum and then you explode again. So this is how the best dribblers in the world dribble. So this exercise right here is extremely well at developing your deceleration and your stability plus explosivity. Because here I have to produce a lot of force. I'm gonna jump forward as much as possible. So I'm gonna stop here, land, and keep it here for a couple seconds for that stability. But let's move on to another exercise that is just as great, but for your changes of direction, and is done by the top wingers in this world. And it's lateral jumps, just like this, where you're gonna sit on one leg here, jump as much as possible to the lateral, and you're gonna hold it here for a couple seconds, right? So from here, you're gonna jump again. You're gonna hold it for a couple seconds for that stability. But this movement of jumping to the side is developing your change of direction and lateral explosiveness that you really need as a winger. I'm telling you, there's no other position on the pitch that you need it more than as a winger. And then lastly, working with the changes of directions even more, what we're gonna do is gonna be a drill where I'm gonna set 2 cones lateral to each other, just like I was doing the jumps. But what I'm gonna do now is gonna be a variation where I'm not gonna jump from one cone to another. I'm actually gonna do shuffling from one cone around the cone and to this cone. And this is again an extremely underrated drill for your changes of directions and your lateral speed. So I'm gonna start in the middle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay like this on my toes, bending my knees, lowering my center of gravity so I can be agile, and then boom. And then I'm gonna go the other way around, right? So now I'm gonna go like this. Gonna come back again, right? So again, these exercises are not just here to make you look big. These exercises are here to target your fast twitch muscles, to target your brain to muscle connection, and to make it really explosive and fast on the pitch. Because as important as your technical ability is in 2026, your physical ability is just as important. Okay guys, just a quick break right here. You know, I always show you the best drills, the best methods of training so you can genuinely stay at the top of a game. But I physically cannot show you enough in those videos because those videos are usually limited to 10, 15, 20 minutes long. And you know, this is exactly why I've made the Vault Protocol, a private program with over 60 lessons inside that's designed to make you train, recover, and develop your confidence like a professional player. I've designed this program with years of knowledge into the game, and after working with over 60 players one-on-one personally to see what works, what doesn't, and what's gonna genuinely make you an extremely good player so you can genuinely play academy football, professional football within the next year. So the players that join now will actually have the access to send me one of their games and one of their training sessions so I can analyze it for them, see the mistakes that they're doing, see the bad habits, the good habits, to receive a deep tactical analysis from myself alongside a free 45-minute consultation call in which we're gonna break down your problems and the plan going forward so you can genuinely develop to a professional standard. So if you wanna join, click the link in the description and get started today. Back to the video. So let's move on to the technical side of the game. Okay, so in the technical pillar, we're gonna focus on a couple key concepts that are absolutely essential for every winger out there. And it's really simple. It's your ball control, it's your shooting ability, your dribbling ability, and your ability to manipulate with the ball in very awkward positions. So the first drill for this is gonna be a zigzag cone drill where you're gonna drive from one cone to another, to another, to another, with a different variation that I'm gonna show you after this one. So the first one is gonna be simple, right? So I'm driving from one cone to another like this, turning, going, right? So I turn, go, do it like this, right? But after you master it, doing it slowly, you wanna optimize for doing it as fast as possible and as game realistic as possible. So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna drive from one cone to another at game intensity, right? So it's not gonna be light, it's gonna be fast, boom. I'm gonna turn, do the same thing again. But again, the most important thing when doing these cone drills is making sure that I keep a very close ball control and I always have control of the ball, because I see so many wingers dribbling, but then just making one mistake in their touch, the ball is gonna go away. It goes like 10 meters away. And that's a really big problem because they haven't practiced their ball control and the game intensity. They're always used to doing it like this, slowly, not hurrying up, not having any internal pressure created by themselves. So, you know, when I do these drills, I actually imagine that I'm in a real game and I want to keep the ball as close to me because these are defenders. So I'm dribbling past defenders. But in the next variation, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a skill before every single cone so I can master my ability of having a close ball control but also doing skills at the same time. So just like this. Again, while you do these drills, you want to be as relaxed as possible because that's how you want to be in a game. You don't want to be tense. You want to be relaxed so you can get into the flow state and be really sharp. And trust me, if you tense yourself, you're not going to be sharp in a real game. Now, in the next drill, what we're going to do is going to be the classic one-on-one drill where we're going to be on the wing, driving and dribbling past our defender so we can score a goal or have an assist, right? And many players, they don't train this enough at a really good intensity and with the right intent. So what we're gonna do today is not just gonna be me driving at this defender, then shifting it and then taking a shot, because that's not really what's gonna happen in a game. You know, in a training session, this is a cone, but in a real game, that's an actual player. So I have to genuinely get past him at 100%, and I need to imagine that this is a real player. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna receive the ball, drive, boom, score. And you know, there's many variations that you can do to get past your defender. And you don't want it just to be cutting inside, because that's great. But you need to have the ability to score goals with your right foot, with your weak foot just as much. Again, putting the whole focus on being explosive and actually selling the delusion that you're going one way and explode the other way and then take the shot. You don't just want to kick it to the side and run after it. So, again guys, explosivity, that's what we need to aim for. Okay, and lastly, the tactical pillar of the game. You know, as a winger, the main thing that you want to practice in your tactical understanding of the game is the way you open up, because that's going to decide about 50%. So that's one of the main priorities that you should have when it comes to the tactical side of the game. Right, so there's a couple main movements that you're going to do as a winger to open up and get the ball. So let's imagine that this is my left back and I'm a right winger. I'm on the wing, he's defending against me, right? So obviously I want to stay half turn just like this, so I can see the whole pitch. So the main movement for you to receive the ball when you're half turn like this and the defender is here, I'm gonna stay like this, the ball is there, right? So I see that my teammate is about to pass me the ball. I'm gonna do a fake movement in here and then turn, yeah, get the ball here. Now I can get past him, finish. Without this fake movement right here, it's gonna be so hard for you to receive the ball, because he's always gonna wanna be really close to you and not let you any time and space, right? So by you doing this one movement right here, he's automatically gonna go one step behind, because his brain is gonna react to your movement. But then what you do is you turn, yeah. So you get the ball here. Now you can do whatever you want with it, right? So you can dribble him, you can go inside, down the line. Now, there's a second variation to this, which is even more powerful in certain scenarios on the pitch. So what you're gonna do is gonna be two fake movements like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get a ball, turn, finish. Again, the reason this is even more powerful, because that defender, when he starts naturally to you here on his toes, you know, he wants to be close to you, right? So when you do that first movement into there, he's gonna step, but then you do the second fake movement, he's gonna step again. Now he's flat-footed, and now it's really hard for him to genuinely change directions. So he can't catch you when you're gonna change directions for the third time, get the ball and dribble past him. So you're gonna get him off balance, which is extremely important as a winger. But there's another thing that you really need to understand when you play as a winger, because a lot of times, even though you do the fake movement, he's still gonna come to you. He's gonna read it and still come to you. So he's gonna be really close to you. So I get the ball, yeah, I get the ball, he's behind me, right? So now, what I do in this scenario is I hold him and I have the ball here. If he comes too close to me, then what I can do is literally roll it to the side and get past him. If he's not that close to me, so let's say it's 1 meter away, then I actually, you know, just feel the distance with my hand, which is very important. And then I turn, and here I have to have quick feet to do a couple touches, get inside, finish, or pass the ball, right? So this is where the technical side and the technical pillar of the game comes in place. So you need to practice your physical, your technical, and your tactical all together. If you're just gonna do one of them, it's not gonna be as effective, right? So this is how it's gonna look at full speed, yeah? So, boom, he's still here, boom. But there's another side to this that's just as important as a winger. You're not always gonna receive the ball to your feet, because you have space in behind in which you can run, you can receive the ball, and you can be one-on-one with the goalkeeper or just more advanced on the pitch, right? So you need to master your ability to do a fake movement like you're gonna receive it in here and then run in behind. And the defender, like I said, naturally is gonna take a step forward. When you're running behind now, you've got an advantage and you're gonna be first to the ball. The next variation to this one is the double fake, right? So where you're gonna do this, and then run in behind, right? So this is just as powerful again, because you're gonna get the defender off balance and you're gonna win an advantage when running in behind. So this is how it's gonna look in a real game. Like you're sitting like this and you're like, oof, So again guys, doing these 3 pillars for the next 4 weeks is gonna make you the best winger on your team, and it's slowly gonna start raising your level to a professional standard, because this is exactly how the professional wingers train every single day to be able to perform at the highest level possible. And again guys, no matter what position you are, winger, striker, center mid, there's so many things that you need to always master in order to always stay at the top of a game. But this is exactly what I do on this channel. So if you want to check out a video that breaks down exactly how you need to train your ball control so you can be good in your dribbling, in your shooting, in your passing, and in your first touch, then check this video right here, because I'm breaking down every single detail about your ball control. But also guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, because all I do here is talk about football and how you can stay at the top of your game. And I'll see you next time.